Welcome back, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Today we're going to be talking about radicals part 2. Last lesson we looked at radicals, the first part, and we're going to continue with some examples. Let's begin. The first question is to simplify the square root of 64. To begin, let x equal the square root of 64. If we square both sides, we get x squared equals 64. In other words, what x squared would equal 64? Well, we have two options here. X equals 8 will give us 8 squared equals 64, but x equals minus 8 will also give us 64. So the answer is x equals plus or minus 8. However, in most cases, we are just looking for the positive solution, or x equals plus 8, and this is known as the principal root. Let's look at another example. Let us find the cubed root of 64. So we begin, let x equal the cubed root of 64, or x equals 64 to the 1/3. In order to solve for x, we can cube both sides. Now, if we're very good with multiplication, we can realize that if I multiply 4 3 times, that's 64, since 4 times 4 is 16 times 4 is 64, which would imply that x equals 4 is our answer. Let us consider a slightly more challenging problem. Let us consider finding the fifth root of 1 over 32. Again, let x equal the fifth root of 1 over 32. Or x equals 1 over 32 raised to the power. To solve for x, let us consider raising both sides to the fifth power. Then we would have 1 over 32 to the 1/5, all raised to the fifth power, or x equals x to the fifth equals 1 over 32. Therefore, we have x to the fifth equals 1 over 32. However, if we're good with multiplication and we know our powers of 2, we can quickly identify that 32 is just 1 over 2 to the fifth. As such, this would imply that x is just 1/2. If x raised to the fifth power equals 1/2 raised to the fifth power, this is the same as saying 1/2 multiplied 5 times. One half times 1/2 is 1/4. 1/2 times 1/2 is 1/4. And finally, we have the last half here. Continuing, 1/4 times 1/4 is 1/16. Times 1/2 is 1 over 32, which is 1 over 2 to the fifth. This is somewhat similar to our last problem. However, under the radical, we have a negative sign. So we proceed. Let x equal cubed root of minus 1/8, or minus 1/8 raised to the 1/3 power. If we cube both sides, we get x cubed equals minus 1/8. Another way of writing this is minus 1/2 cubed. Therefore, x equals minus 1/2. Let us look at the last problem, taking the square root of minus 16. Whoa, this is weird. Let us begin again. Let x equal square root of minus 16. If we square both sides, we get x squared equals minus 16. This is challenging. So let us try let x equals 4. Well, 4 squared is 16, which is not minus 16. Well, that doesn't work. How about let x equal minus 4? Well, minus 4 squared equals 16 also, which is not minus 16. Well, that doesn't work also. So there seems to be no solution for this, and that is true. There is no real x that satisfies x equals square root of minus 16. So that brings us to the end of the lesson. I hope you liked it. I hope you enjoyed it. Look forward to seeing you again. Please check out my previous video on radicals and my other video on exponents. Thank you again so much for supporting the channel. Please click like, subscribe, and comment below, and look forward to seeing you again. Have a great day. Ciao.